Okay, as we have four modes in the machine, and we will first introduce the fractional mode. For this tip is for the fractional mode, and we will install it to the fractional connecting part, and we will install it by spinning it. So after installing the lens, we introduce the fractional mode interface. Okay, as we can see, this is the fractional mode, and we have different shapes of laser. And normally for the fractional mode, the square mode we will use for the most of the time. And this is the data saving parameter, and for this one we can set different parameter. Is for like NX cards. For this one we can adjust the parameter for the pore shrinking, and after adjusting the parameter we can click the save parameter. So after we shut down the machine, and we will have the data saved in the machine, and same as the 3 and 4 5, and actually we can use accordingly by our experience. So this is the for this one, height and width is to adjust the size of the laser. For example, we choose the square and we adjust it slower, and the square shape will change as we adjust it, and also the width. So we need to adjust it as the treatment we needed. For this one, this is the pulse duration, and the pulse duration we will use is from 1 to 3.0. We can adjust the pulse duration accordingly to the need of the patient's skin condition. And this is the scan time. Normally the scan time we use is the 1 time. This is the CO2 laser power, and the power is from 1 watt to 40 watts, and normally we can use from 15 to 25. Also it depends on the skin condition of our patient. This is the density of the laser. As we adjust the density to slower, more laser will come out. However, if we adjust the density to like larger, less laser will come out. We can show in the treatment later. This is the scan mode. We have 3 scan mode. This is the random, and the mixed blip, and the normal scan mode. The interval time is normally 1. We do not adjust it. So after introducing the fractional mode, we go on to introduce the gynecology mode. Okay, we go on to introduce the gynecology mode. And firstly, we will uninstall the fractional tip and its lens. And when we remove this tip, see, this is only taking this tip off. We also need to take the lens off. So we fetch this part together. So we need to remove this lens and also the tip off, and we place this tip here, and we fetch the gynecology mode tip, and also we have 2 other small tips installed to the end of this tip, and we install it directly by spinning it. So we finished this one installation, and also we have a tip for the gynecology mode, and we install it to this part. We have a tip for the gynecology mode, and we install it to this part. And then we also fetch this connector, install it to this tip. And after doing this step, we install this tip to the fractional tip. So this is the way we do the gynecology mode. So after installing the treatment tip, we will introduce the interface. Okay, this is the gynecology mode, and normally we will use this round shape size, and also this is the parameter saving for different treatment purpose. This is the density. The density is also from 0.2 to 2.6, but normally we can use 1.0 to 1.2, and the duration is also we use the 1.0 to 3.0, and we can use the medium energy. This is the interval, and this is the laser power. For the laser power, we can also use 15 to 25. We can use 17. And after that, this is the scan time. For the scan time, we will use just one time. So after setting the parameter, we can click the preview and we set the ready so we can start the treatment. Okay, after that, we can click the preview, and as we can see, this is the guiding laser. The guiding laser should be on top of this tip, so we need to adjust it. And we need to adjust in the screen. See, it's going up. It's going up. It's going up. So now it's on top of this tip. So after only we set this guiding laser on top of this tip, we can proceed the treatment. So if we want to do the vulva mode, and we need to take off the gynecology tip, and we can only take off the tip down because for the vulva mode we need to use the gynecology mode lens. So this lens is for the gynecology mode and the vulva mode, and we place this tip on the machine. So we have two tips. For this tip, we can treat the vulva, and for this tip, we can treat on our lips and also the dark skin around our nipple. So we can show this tip installation, and we install it by spinning it. So this is the vulva mode tip installation. So this is the vulva mode, and we will have two shapes. And normally for the vulva mode, we suggested to use the square shape. And also there are 5 sets of parameter saving for different treatment purpose. This is the density. The density we can use is from 0.7 to 1.2. Normally we can use 1.0. And for the duration, we suggest to use from 1.0 to 3.0. And we can use the medium one, 1.7. And the interval, we can use the 10. Also, this is the laser power. The laser power we can use from 15 to 25 is largely the same. For the times we can use one time, but we can adjust different parameter. It's from 1 to 20. However, we can use only one time. For this one, this is to adjust the shape or the size of the guiding laser. For now, it's 15 plus 15. We can adjust it smaller. When we keep pressing it, it will change greatly. However, we clip 1 to 3 seconds, we release, or it will be going down like so small. So we can adjust the size of the laser as we need it. And this is the preview. This is the guiding laser preview. As we can see, this is the guiding laser. And after that, we click this ready button. So when we step on the pedal, laser will come out. Okay, after introducing the three modes, the fractional mode, gynecology mode, and Volvo mode, and we have the pulse mode yet to be introduced. And when we click this mode, it will not go into the interface because we need to take this fractional tip off so we can go into this interface. But before we uninstalling the fractional tip connector, we need to shut down the machine. And then we will spin this connector and unplug it. So we turn on the machine again. And then we can use the pulse mode. However, if we are using the pulse mode, we do not go into the fractional mode and the gynecology mode, and as well as the Volvo mode. So we go on to introduce the pulse mode treatment tip installation. When we want to use the pulse mode, we need to take off this whole fractional tip, and we need to spin this part to uninstall the fractional tip, and then we take the pulse mode tip and install this tip directly to the articulated arm. And also we can take this air pipe off and install it to the pulse mode tip. So we finish the pulse mode tip installation, and we go on to introduce the interface. Okay, this is the pulse mode tip. Normally we can use the pulse mode because the continuous mode will be way too strong and it's really hard to handle if you are not experienced. So we will use the pulse mode, and for the energy density we can choose the power. For the pulse mode, the power we can use from 10 to 15. We can use 12. And the pulse duration we can use from 1 to 3.0. And we can use 1.5. This is the treatment interval. For this is the most important for the pulse mode. And the treatment interval we can use from 35 to 50. And we set like 45. So we set 45. We can set the machine ready. So this is the pulse mode. When we step on the pedal, you can see it's not continuous. So this is the pulse mode. And after using the pulse mode, if we want to use the fractional mode or gynecology mode or the vulva mode, as we can see, when we take off this connector, it cannot be entered. So we need to turn off the machine and then install the connector back. And we turn on the machine. So we can use the fractional mode, gynecology mode, and also the vulva mode.